and welcome to episode number 27 of Tally Benchwarmers. As that sound effect will explain to you, it really tells the story about this podcast. This is an unofficial, non-expert take on sports here in the northern Florida region of the great state of Florida. For the next, 30 minutes, we're going to be backbenching college. We're going to be talking about some college basketball, unfortunately. We're going to be talking about a little other college sports, maybe some NBA talk. And I hear that we have a palace in the city of Tallahassee that we're going to talk about. So joining me here on the bench, hi, I'm David Mullins, wherever the camera is. Head bench warmer, chief towel waver, whatever you want to call me, joined by Adrian Andrews.
What's up?
Sports reporter extraordinaire and also producer
for today.
Of this podcast today. Give me a fist bump, man. Yeah, we're only starting like 38 minutes later than normal today.
Who keeps time these
days?
Who's
keeping time?
Right.
Who cares? Jennifer Chapin, CFO of WFSU. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you.
Well, it's like the fourth time I've seen you so far today. But
that's okay.
She's our avid runner.
Again.
She is. She's our runner too.
Runner.
And then Eric Carter, the guru of Florida State University sports, assistant chief engineer, and he's got the kind of the deer in the headlights look this morning. I'm not sure why, but it may be because of some of the losses that some of our teams took over the weekend. Before we get into some of the FSU sports, though, there's a few things that happened over the weekend. And one of them was we had the first-time winner of the Masters golf tournament this weekend.
Yes.
And Jennifer is so excited. Who watched it? Anybody watch the Masters on Sunday? Did you watch it before Sunday, too?
I watched it Saturday and Sunday.
You watched Saturday and Sunday?
Usually
I will sometimes watch golf. Golf is one of those things where,
if it's
amazingly,
on,
if it's a good tournament, and although it can be boring,
it's a good thing to take a nap too.
It is a good
best
nap too.
The crowds are at the Masters, the patrons.
Yeah,
isn't that what they're called?
Yes.
The patrons.
Yeah.
They're getting really into it. They're hollering and carrying on. They're having a good old time while they're watching it live. In person.
Has anybody ever walked a golf tournament before, like a major golf tournament? Have you?
I have.
You have?
TPC Sawgrass.
TPC. I watched. I forget what it was. I walked one down in South Florida at what is now the Trump golf course. This is no political comments at all here, but it's now the Trump golf course. But fun. It is fun to walk.
It's a lot of fun
if you're following and walking. Somebody in the lead.
Yeah.
If I was following Eric,
you wouldn't be following me.
I wouldn't.
I'd be on a
putt-putt not be that much fun.
Putt-putt golf,
But hey, I'm a tired and kind of a South Florida look. I've got
some tropical wear.
I've got the white bear. I've got the Que Pasa USA cap going.
That's
right.
What's happening, dudes? What's happening?
Hey.
Anyway, I digress. So what happened at the Masters that made you so excited?
So McIlroy, he was amazing the whole weekend. But at the very end, on the 18th hole, he was up by one. He had a 3-foot putt to win, and he missed.
Even I could have made
He
that.
missed.
I could have made.
I wouldn't have made that.
No, I probably would.
So he went to playoffs.
Went to a playoff. Because who did he play?
Justin Rose.
I like Justin Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Rose.
And it was Justin
like
Rose, his second time in a playoff at the Masters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But Justin Rose has won the Masters before, hasn't he?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. I interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. He won in playoffs.
How many holes did they play?
Just one.
Just you won in the first hole.
Yeah, Justin Rose
Yeah.
lost or missed a putt, probably about a 5-foot putt. Missed that putt.
That's a lot of pressure.
And just set up McIlroy. And he won. He not only won that was his Grand Slam win. So he's won all 4 majors now.
Right.
It was his 17th time playing at the Masters. So
First time to win.
Yeah,
wow.
It was his 11th year between major wins.
Between major wins, too.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So,
wow.
I know a little something.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, he's only the 6th golfer in Masters age. Masters hasn't always been around, but he's only the 6th golfer to win a Grand Slam.
Okay.
Jack
good.
Nicklaus, Tiger Woods are two of the other ones.
Tiger?
Tiger.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
believe that the Tiger and Jack
Yeah.
would be in that group?
So
it
it was
So
pretty.
we got a connection
Yeah.
to Jack here, though.
We do.
We
hey,
do,
man,
across the
Jack
street.
Nicholas inspired and he designed it, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
he
did.
designed
His
the
team
course.
designed our golf course, FSU's golf
I've
course.
got a benchwarmer activity sometime. Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right now.
I save abandoned golf balls
Do you
from
really?
the golf course.
There
when I
would
go
be a
on
lot
walks.
of those if I was playing.
Yeah, I have 6 in
Actually,
my
in the
office.
street for me.
Yeah. But hey, I get you. It's a long drive. It just bounces on the
Yeah.
asphalt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They-
Justin got the green jacket.
No.
Not Justin.
Rory,
Yeah, McElroy got the
Yeah.
green jacket.
he got the green jacket.
His
finally.
first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm wondering now if he's going to retire. You know, like that.
He probably will.
He's not
He's
that
only
old.
35. He's only
35 years old.
35, but
Yeah, but you get that, you know.
Yeah, you
but-
can't do
wait,
much more.
So, how much money did he take home as the winner?
Oh.
I'm thinking probably like $4 or $5 million bucks.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I think I'd continue to play.
Yeah.
Would you?
I would ride out into the sunset.
would you really?
Yeah, I would ride out to the sunset. You're welcome back anytime
Yeah, right.
because they have the dinner and you get to wear your green jacket and
Yeah,
go eat and
and you can
Maybe-
play
maybe
on the
just-
tour or not. Like
Yeah.
you don't.
Right.
Well, maybe you just don't play the Masters again. You've already mastered the Masters. Hey, how's that?
No.
Mastered the Masters. So maybe you just don't. Yeah, we need that.
See, now he's done climbing.
Finish climbing.
He's reached the top.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what's even great is they have on Thursday at the Masters, they let the players bring out their kids
Yeah.
and play. And his daughter was putting and
I
is
saw
is
that clip.
excellent.
I saw
she
that
is
clip.
excellent.
She hit the
So
bottom of the cup.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, and she just barely dinked it.
yeah,
And then it rolls slowly and
Yeah.
slowly, and it gets that momentum. It's going downhill.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was
And that
like
was pretty
It was
cool.
like a 15-foot putt.
it was a good one.
Yeah, that was so funny. Yeah, when she's like 3 years old, it looks like maybe
She's
maybe
4. She's 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She's a pro.
Yeah,
then.
he's
a
a
pro.
Yeah,
he
she's
was
a
a
pro
childhood
Yeah.
phenom. So
Was he?
yeah,
It's like Tiger.
yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about Tiger some other time because there's other things we want to talk about. But yeah, but the story of Tiger Woods would be kind of fun to talk about.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, other teams that are climbing. Let's talk about some NBA playoffs that are just around the corner.
Yes.
But our Florida teams are in the play-ins here.
Yes, they are.
So they're climbing. They've got to climb a little bit more to get to actually make
lot
it to what
big
is
more.
called the playoffs, right?
Yes.
Magic are playing the Hawks tomorrow night to play in with a win as the 7th seed in the East. They would play the Celtics if they win. So, the Heat are playing the Bulls Wednesday night for that 8th seed in the East, and they will play the Cavs. I mean, I think the Cavs in Oklahoma City are the teams to beat. They're obviously the number one seeded teams in both East and West, but they've been talking about OKC and Cleveland for the last half of the season. Golden State, man, Golden State,
They had the
might have
opportunity.
fallen.
They had the opportunity. All they had to do was beat the Clippers, and they were.
They couldn't pull it off. So, but they play Memphis tomorrow night as a play-in for the on the West, and then the Mavs, who were in the finals last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean you trade Luka.
Well, that's where it
And
started.
Probably what
That's
happened, right? You trade Luka.
Went downhill since
And
then.
it
Yeah.
went downhill,
But-
but they're playing the Kings, so they.
The crazy thing about it is the Lakers and the Mavs switched spots because last year the Lakers were on the cusp,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
and they had to play in the playing game. And this year, roles reversed.
Yeah, so I think we'll know. The NBA playoffs are like 6 months long, so we've got a lot of it takes
almost
forever.
July. We got to do
It
July.
takes forever for that.
Yeah, by the time they're done, it'll be football season.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, and then
Really wouldn't
and I think the NHL playoffs should be starting
They
fairly
start
soon
this
too.
weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've got hockey and basketball that will kind of take us through when we have some lulls in FSU and FAMU sports, but a little lull on the FSU side, right? For beach volleyball, not what we had hoped for this time last week.
Yeah, this weekend wasn't that great for my Lady Knowles. They went up against some tough competition. They faced number 3 in the nation, number 6 in the nation, number 5 in the nation, and number 12 in the nation.
It's tough.
All in one weekend, and double headers Friday and then double headers Saturday. So That's a lot of heavy lifting.
That and they that sand, maybe that sand on the West Coast is just a little different than on the East Coast. And
Well,
it's
we have pretty white.
we
beach
have
sand.
pristine sand, and
That's
on the
right.
West Coast, it's
They just got sand.
They got sand and smog in the air that kind of filters down. I do love this, Adrian. Very good, great point that as his producer this week, he pointed out that they were competing in the Center of Effort Challenge. I love that.
Yeah,
the
that's,
Center of Effort. That sounds
That's
very
prestigious. Like, oh
well.
my
It sounds like very
gosh.
California too.
Yeah.
It really does.
Center of
San
Effort
Luis
Challenge.
Obispo. It just
They
feels
did
like.
They did some
Yeah.
yoga between.
Yeah,
the
maybe they
sets to
did.
kinda-
Oh man, White Lotus, talking about yoga. We'll talk about White Lotus. But yeah, so, but was this the end of the regular
Yeah, it was
season?
the
for
end of the regular
volleyball, right?
season. They ended up 23-10.
Yeah.
Good record.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Really good record. So I'm proud of the women for that. They start the conference tournament on the 25th and 26th in Baton Rouge. We do well out there.
Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
We do well out there. So
Yeah.
they almost got the same sand that we do. So
But you got to get this.
Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge.
Yeah,
You gotta say it. You gotta
yeah.
say it with that
Yeah,
New
that's what you gotta
Orleans
do.
accent.
You do, yeah, yeah. so that so we've got some. Although we will be playing some ACC teams like Stanford and things
Yes.
that and Cal
Yes.
that will be not easy wins.
No,
But,
those
yeah.
ACC teams out there in the West in beach volleyball, they're something else.
Yeah.
And then our track team is going to be in Gainesville, and you know what competition invitational it is?
Which invitation will it is? Oh yeah,
I actually like this
Yeah.
song.
that's a good running song.
Oh, it is. It's not unusual. So it's the Tom Jones Invitational. Oh man, you got it, man. Let me see it again.
Fresh Prince,
Let's-
growing up too.
yeah.
So,
I mean, well, I was doing my best Carlton, but I can't dance for crap. So, yeah. But yeah. So is it this Tom Jones that we're talking about?
No, not
It's a
that.
different
it's a
Tom
bit- yeah.
Jones.
I like to meet the
Oh.
guy who stole his name. I
Yeah.
think
Who saw that guy and was like, you know what, that guy, he's
that's
pretty
guy's
cool.
He's
Yes.
cool. I
Let me
want his
take his
name.
name.
And then I think but we had fun. But hopefully we will do well in track and field. We've got
So far this season,
yeah.
the track teams are doing excellent.
Yeah.
They're putting up some good times,
Mm-hmm.
positioning themselves for at the end of the season for the ACC meets,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
nationals, which we always compete in very well. So
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
Well, when we know our distance runners from when we talked last week, we got some really great distance runners.
Yes, we
but
do.
but when it comes to track and field, I like the sprints, and I like the
That's-
long jump.
That's the
I like
pole
the
vault.
pole vault, and the high jump.
Yeah.
And we talked about last week. I mean, Adrian and I used to
this
we used to shot
steeplechase
put.
and all
We
that kind of
we
stuff.
did the shot
Mm.
put.
Yeah.
We both competed in shot put until I threw my shoulder out. So, but
Shot
I
put.
accidentally threw myself, so I understand.
oh, that's funny.
himself out.
He did. He just threw it completely. He just said, "I'm
You
out,
won that
man."
one, too.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
I did.
because he was only competing against himself, so he
Yeah.
came in first place.
Mm-hmm.
And fist bump on that, but, yeah.
morning. You guys got to catch up.
You did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Tom Jones Invitational. We'll hope we do the best. And then this one over here, my partner on
She
this
ran
side of
into
the
Tom Jones in
bench.
Tallahassee.
They they don't call it the Tom. Should I bring the song back?
No,
Okay.
that's fine. Thank you.
But there was a run this weekend.
Yeah,
Cal.
it was the 50th running of the Palace Saloon 5K.
The Palace Saloon. Now that's
here's
the
another
name.
name.
That is the name.
Yeah,
that
it
like-
starts
Oh my God.
over in Messer Field, right
Yeah.
up the road, and it ends at the Palace Saloon with all the free beer you can
All
drink.
the free beer you can drink.
I might have to
Tire
run.
yourself out and get drunk and go all the way home, huh?
I mean, you can be drunk by 10 o'clock in the morning for absolutely free. No
For
worries.
absolutely free. You're gonna be
I
sweaty.
don't
but-
partake in
good for
the
you. Yeah.
after festivities.
You're not
but
part of the
I-
after party?
No.
So
no.
how many runners did you
There
say?
was 2,500 runners.
2,500
Yeah,
runners.
it was
Man,
insane.
but that's a hell of a lot of beer.
Yeah,
If
it was
they-
a lot.
Number 2,501.
Oh, look at you.
Hey, all right. See,
I
fist
beat
bump.
everybody that was behind me. So
Okay.
So, well, what place did you come in?
Like 500.
500.
Yeah.
Fist bump for Jennifer.
my son
That's
beat
top
me.
20%.
Yeah.
My son beat me for the first time running a race. He beat me.
You'll never hear the end of that.
No, he's actually really good.
Okay.
My mom
But you still
ran
never-
it.
Oh, your mother ran it?
Yeah.
Man, I
My-
feel.
That's a family affair.
It is. My
is.
dad has won it in the past.
Wow,
Before
man.
I was born. It's a big family. It's
That
a
is-
tradition that we've been doing for
How
years.
about that?
I'm
That's,
gonna have to
that's-
get out there.
An
Yeah,
FSU
I-
grad
I'm telling
won this year for like the 5th time. His name is Stan Litton, is one of the fastest runners I've ever seen. He's ridiculously fast.
So he, yeah. I mean, he sprints the 5K basically.
Yeah, he ran the 5K in less than 15 minutes. I'm pretty sure it was like 14 something.
I'll catch a cab.
The last 5K, well, the last and only 5K I ever ran was down in South Florida, and it was hot and muggy. Was at least not quite so.
It was beautiful.
Was it
out.
beautiful?
Yeah.
This weekend was a beautiful weather.
Yeah.
And I think I ran a 5K, but we ran over a bridge over the
Yeah.
intercoastal in Miami, so cut me some slack. I think I ran it in 32 minutes.
That's pretty good.
I think I would have ran it in like 32 days.
but I was much younger. You may not realize it, but this is an old man body, an old man face, and a 3-year-old mind here that you're sitting next
mean-
to. So that was a long time ago that I ran in there. Yeah.
I got you,
Yeah, you
man.
got me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember those.
I
days.
think I
I'm
got
just
it.
trying to. I don't know why I'm sharing this. Sometimes I share really too much information with y'all, and
That's
it
okay.
worries me because I think it's my brain that's just kind of fuzzing out.
It's
That's
3 years
okay.
old.
It's 3 years old.
So a 3-year-old shares everything.
yeah, and they're honest.
That's right.
They are-
And I'm brutally honest.
You know, a 3-year-old
Sometimes
shares
I scare
everything.
myself with how honest I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the Palace Run, 500, top 20%.
Yes.
That is fantastic. Before we pivot to FSU sports, or pivot back to FSU sports, since we last sat around the bench, we had a national championship game played in college basketball.
Did we
not?
now?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, and we have our own alligator hunter here, Mr.
Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile.
Crocodile Adrian.
Crocodile Dundee.
Yes.
I
Is that-
believe I was the
Crocodile
only.
dummy.
I was the only one that was rooting.
Yeah, I was
For
rooting.
UF.
I was rooting, but I was split because
You
I
were
was from
split.
Texas. I would
Okay.
be okay either way.
See these
But
knuckleheads.
oh my God,
Like I said, but who won?
who won? I
Well,
believe the
let's
Florida
talk
Gators did.
about how they won.
How did they win?
Intriguing.
You know how they won?
That's
They won
fine.
by,
We can talk
by
about how
scoring
they
more
won,
points.
but I'm keeping this
Yeah.
hat
They won
on.
by
Just know.
scoring the most points in the game.
I will agree with that.
Yeah,
They did win
uh-huh.
by scoring the most
Okay.
points,
Yeah.
but they had an extra 3 people helping them out on the court.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, any
Was
excuse
Bobby
better than
Boucher
none.
out there?
Ah, yes, Bobby Boucher had to be out there, the water boy.
Oh, the water boy. Yeah.
Well, this is what I know. UF has great defense, and they can shoot the ball a ton, and that's all you need to win.
That's all you need to know.
No, you need the referees
Yeah.
to blow the whistle 17 more times for the other team.
In the second half
I just
alone.
Second
want
half
to
alone.
point out
Yeah.
they only
Listen.
won by 1 basket. So
Yes.
Yeah,
just
it
one.
was really. I mean, we talked about last Monday. We record this podcast. I say this every episode. We record on
it's
Monday.
needed. It's needed.
It's needed
Yes.
because we have to put context to this.
Right.
And last Monday we had just seen 2 phenomenal semifinal games, right?
Yeah.
And then the final was exciting.
Yes.
I mean, it came
And,
down.
well,
yeah.
the second half became exciting
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
the extra
Yeah.
3 people that
Right.
the Gators had.
Yeah, Walter
the first-
Clayton Jr. Though,
boy.
I'm telling you, Walter Clayton Jr. He's a playmaker. He's a shot maker. He's a dynamo.
He won the
So,
MVP of the tournament.
yeah.
So he deserved it.
Yeah.
I mean, even if the Gators would have lost, I would have still given him MVP
Yeah,
of the tournament because
absolutely.
he put in the work to actually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
deserve that accolade.
Yeah.
Houston had the final shot for the final play there too. They could have.
I'm not sure what happened there. They kind
I
of
don't know
choked
what
up or
happened,
what.
yeah.
I think they.
He looked.
I'm
like
not sure if
he
they
was,
really had a play, like a final
Well,
play.
He was going to take a 3. He pumped.
panicked.
He panicked. I
Yeah.
think he actually he in fact instead of just pumping, he actually left his feet, and
Right.
that was his mistake.
Right.
Right.
And I think he thought if he
Yeah.
was to recover the ball, he was
Yeah.
going to be, it was going to,
It would have
be
been
called a
double
travel or
it would have
been
double.
called travel. It would have been called travel.
Okay.
call.
But
if he had
and-
touched it.
If he was
Yeah.
actually, his IQ in basketball was
Yeah.
really high, when you get in the air like that, all you got to do is throw the ball off the other person's stomach. It comes right back to you, and you got a wide open shot.
Or, I mean, even if he had taken it, he could have potentially
Maybe
been
got fouled.
fouled.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I think he just, you're right.
Regardless, the final play,
and
the
I
shot,
forget,
you
I
have to
forget
throw
the
it
player's
up.
name on Houston, but he was.
I won't say his name because as a parent, you don't want your son's name out there like that.
But he was one of their real stars.
Yes,
though,
he
too.
was.
Yeah,
They wanted him to actually take the shot.
Yeah,
They did want him to take
and
the
he's the
shot.
guy who really won the game against UConn too.
Yes.
Was it UConn? Yeah. No, they played Duke. Against Duke, and
Yeah.
UConn was on the women's side.
They
that 3-year-old
just-
brain
yeah,
is
they-
just not working too well this morning.
UConn just did
Yeah.
their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got, for anybody who we know who's a Florida Gator, you got 300 plus days or so of where they're going to be doing the chomp, man. Yeah, they're going to be doing.
I got
chomp.
my swamp hat on
Oh,
for
you
a
got the
reason,
swamp hat
because
on.
I passed through Gainesville this weekend.
Okay, we're
Grab a
talking.
swamp hat.
You hear the war chant?
That means no more.
We're gonna have
none of that.
Or we're gonna leave
Bye-bye.
him with the hat, or is he gonna
Well,
take it
I'm gonna
off?
take
He
it
gets,
off.
he gets
I'm
to
gonna
hold
take
it. He gets to hold it
off.
for one more segment.
I'm gonna hold
Okay.
on.
Yeah, you do. Hold on
Just
to it.
take
if you
it
want.
off.
It's
Hold
gonna
on.
be down
If
there.
it-
If you guys,
If it
listen,
helps you, give you a little confidence.
It makes him sit a little taller in the chair.
And I'm not a
That's a-
UF
oh,
fan.
that's a hard
I'm not
shot, man.
I've
That
heard
was a hard shot.
worse.
Yeah, have you heard worse?
So I
That
think
was a
you
hard
gotta come a
shot.
little bit harder.
Yeah. Yeah. You better climb a little further.
I gotta climb a little higher. Yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about that women's team, the softball team.
That women's softball
Oh my
team.
God.
Lady
yeah.
Knowles.
Yeah.
That's all I can do. It's just that they're just
They're awesome.
yes.
They're incredible.
Number 9 in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
They traveled to California this weekend.
Yeah.
Played 2 teams out there. St. Mary's on Wednesday, 3-0
Saint
shutout.
Mary- Well, I would feel bad about shutting out a team named St. Mary's. You'd almost feel kinda
Everybody gets it.
sorry for them.
No, everybody gets it.
No, I mean
That's
St.
why we're
Mary's,
unconquered.
It just feels like
That's why
it feels
we
like
are
a team that you
unconquered.
want to just kind of embrace.
I want to
Right?
pray over. I want to
You
pray
wanna-
with them.
yeah.
Well, we did pray over
Mary's.
them after the
We did
beating.
after the
We
beat
sure
down,
did. We
3-0.
passed the offering and the communion plate all around.
Yeah. But they're 14-1 in ACC, right?
Yes, they are.
So we
14-1.
played, and we had at least one ACC matchup during that tourney, right? Did we play?
Well, we had a
Cal?
weekend series. We got a weekend
Yeah.
series against Cal.
Yeah.
And they did their thing
Yeah.
against Cal because on a Friday they won 8-1.
Mm-hmm.
On Saturday they won 11-3.
Yep.
But the big spanking came on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
16-3.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Wow.
5 innings.
They scored 11 runs in the top of the 5th inning.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
That's painful. That's the team that you want to pray over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So at least St. Mary's kept it close.
Yeah.
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 But there was no close in all 3 of those games.
No.
No, and too many stars on the team to even recognize.
Everybody did everything.
Everybody did their thing. Everybody was getting hits. So,
People were getting their
Yeah.
first home run
Yeah.
of the season, of their career. I mean, just
That's awesome.
So do we know when ACC tournament begins in softball? It's going to be coming up. Didn't we? I think we talked about this last week. It's going to be towards the end of the month, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's the end of next month.
You know,
Let me look.
this is another proof that this is a non-expert.
Unofficial.
Unofficial. We don't know when things start or stop. I mean, I forget what teams play and all that.
But we know who win.
We do know
we
when
got
we
Georgia
do
Tech.
know.
Yeah, so we play Georgia Tech.
Yes, we
Yeah,
play
we
Georgia
do
Tech.
play
next
Georgia
week.
Tech.
Tech
and
this week, right?
Yeah.
Yes. That's our next up weekend series.
Yeah, it's
First,
Georgia.
first round of the ACC championship is May 7th.
Yeah.
Thank God for
7.
Google.
Thank
Yes.
God
Georgia
for
Tech
Jen
and go
and
to-
Google.
Thank God.
Yes.
That's her nickname, Jennifer Google Tappan.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like her call sign.
Yeah.
If we were flying jets,
Hashtag.
if we were flying
Jen
jets,
Google.
it would be Google on her helmet.
Yeah.
I watched the clip
This
from
is
Top Gun.
JGT.
Yeah.
That's JGT right there.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Also known as resourceful. That's a more professional.
Resourceful, yeah. But I'm going to digress for a minute. I watched another clip from Top Gun Maverick. I don't know. It pops up on my Facebook feed. And watching these clips, and it's the clip where Tom Cruise he sets a 2-minute and 30-second timer, and he goes and drops the bomb and everything, and he's pulling all these G's and then Maverick across the top of it. I could see you wearing a helmet that said Google. You're sitting there in front of a spreadsheet,
That's right.
And you're ready to go and when Google this. And see, then she pulls G's, Google G's.
That's right. Not only that, she G's in money.
G's and money. That's worthy of a fist bump. If anything, this today was worthy of a fist bump. That
Thanks,
was it.
I think, guys.
Yeah. So anyway,
I'm not sure if that's
what were we talking? We were talking about softball.
Yes, the
Okay.
women
Yeah, the
are
women's
doing their
softball.
thing. One loss
Yeah.
in ACC play, so they're ready. I think they're good to go. Good to go.
And then the men had a weekend series with Vatek up in Blacksburg.
Before we get to the weekend series, this is
sorry.
why I told him he
Sorry.
could actually hold on to his hat for just a little.
Oh,
bit. We had the
okay.
midweek game against the Swamp Lizards.
Oh yeah.
Who won? Well, first of all, before you do that, I'm not a UF fan. We were going against a Texas school,
think,
and that's why I
you
pulled
gotta
for
cut
UF.
him.
It's okay.
So, I'm
It's
just
okay.
saying.
You
Just
can-
saying.
But
This
and
is
I
a
will-
safe place for the most part. You can be who you are, Adrian.
That's right.
Carry on.
And, no, I just
We
think
can
we
use his
still need to
pronouns.
point out that was
Gator.
a good look.
Kane.
That hat was a good look for him.
It
It was a
was.
swamp hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really. I mean,
It's the
you
only
should-
hat I have.
you
I don't
should-
have any
you-
UF gear. I promise you.
You don't have any.
Yes.
But I think you should wear that more often around the
I should.
station here.
I will.
Yeah.
It's
It's a good look. I
It could be a
like it.
bug net too, so I
You
just
could
gotta
be.
get
Yeah. We need those around the building.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. Okay, sorry, Eric.
No.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, well, we
Yeah.
dropped the midweek game against the Gators, so that means we lost the season series to them 2-1. But it was a very good game. It was a very good, hard fought, well pitched game. Both teams actually played well, so I give credit to where credit is due. And then we got back on track in ACC play. We need that ACC play to get us back on track, and we went up to Blacksburg and swept the series against Vatek.
Yeah, and swept it convincingly too.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had a doubleheader
And
Saturday.
Vatek is a nationally ranked team too.
25.
Number 25. So
Yep.
they're not.
Yep. Well, we had the doubleheader on Saturday, 3-1 first game, 12-1 the second game.
That was the Jamie Arnold pitch.
Yes.
Pitch game, right? I think
Yes.
he pitched 8 innings with 1 earned.
One earned run.
I mean,
He shut them down. They were coming up
Yeah,
and they were
they're-
going back to the dugout.
yeah. Well, they're starting pitching all across the board. Wes Mendez and
Yeah.
no, they did well.
Yeah, the starting pitching actually does very well. It's when we have to bring in our middle relievers that we get a little shaky.
So if the starters can go, 7 or 8 innings, you're good. Yeah.
If you can get 6 to 7 innings from your starters, you're usually pretty good. You know, anything less than that, you got to use a lot of middle relievers, and that's when it becomes a little shaky for us. But we have USF tomorrow in Orlando.
Is it an interesting tournament where we're just playing in a
It's
neutral
just one of
site?
those midweek
One of
games.
those
that,
neutral site things.
Yeah, it's- And then we have UVA here.
This weekend.
The
Or-
Cavaliers.
Another ACC
Another-
game.
yeah.
Yeah. Cavaliers have had in the past really good
Yeah.
baseball teams.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the ACC as a
Yeah,
whole
as a
in
whole, they
baseball
do,
has been doing
yeah.
really well. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're number 2 or we're number 3 in ACC.
3 in ACC.
for men. I think
Yeah.
I think second place in ACC on the softball side.
yes,
Yeah. So, looking better than some of our other sports where there are balls involved.
yes,
Yeah. I think it may be the glove. If we can get our basketball and football teams
To wear
start wearing
gloves?
Maybe they
Have
can
I
catch it.
maybe?
Maybe our football team can catch it if they have a glove.
Catch it
They
with
won't
a
be so
glove?
scared of it hurting their hands.
Yeah, I don't know, but gloves. Yeah, that's something to think about.
we're going to see.
Adrian's looking at me like, what the heck?
No.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
the wheels are spinning up here.
Oh
I'm
my
just trying to come
goodness!
up with a way.
Oh, okay. Hey,
Hush.
that's
Hush.
okay. Yeah, we
See, this
got
is my team.
we
Here.
got
I
to
just want to point
pivot.
that out.
No, well, it's our team.
It's our team. It's a Tallahassee team, so
Yeah.
we represent this
Yeah.
Tallahassee team.
My team.
Absolutely.
Our FAMU softball team they had a series against Alabama A&M, right?
Yes, swept the series.
Swept the
Yeah.
series.
Improved 18 and 17 overall. So we crossed over the 500. I
They
guess,
were
and we were trying to do something
all
there.
of those big teams and heavy hitting teams.
It's
Get
paying
that
off.
heavy hitting teams.
Yeah.
They're good. Okay, yeah. And softball, early in the season.
But their SWAC play is good.
Yeah.
See, I was just gonna say that.
They
14
are
and 4.
14-4. They
Yeah.
are doing their thing.
Mhm.
You know,
We stand on top of the conference now. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
and
so-
and that's what it actually comes down to. You know,
Yeah.
the conference play, like we talked about earlier. You know, they were taking their lumps beginning of the season. You get the testing that you need to get when you play these heavy hitting teams.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. I got it.
See, you know, I feel like I'm the sensei,
You
and,
are.
and they take
to acknowledge a joke.
the knowledge just comes out, and then you know it works for others.
But,
yeah,
you know-
it's my purpose in life.
But they're doing
Yeah.
good.
They do
And-
have one.
Yeah, well, I've got yeah.
And I'm really enjoying that the women are doing their thing, and you know their next series is against Bethune, the Kitty Cats. Bethune Kitty Cats out here. You know, we play them here in Tallahassee, so you know
Okay.
that's a weekend series
I
here.
gotta try to get that game.
Yeah.
That's gonna be good.
Yep. And then the men.
Men's.
Now I can't confirm that we swept the weekend because they didn't have any score for the Sunday game. I couldn't find a score for the Sunday game nowhere.
Right.
It's-
So
Well, that's like if a tree falls in the woods and no one hears it. Did it really fall? So if a baseball game has no score, was there really a game?
Wow.
luckily, I was able to do a little
Oh, there you
research.
go.
I do a
That's why
little
he's the
research
producer.
when I was
That's why
filling
he's
in.
the
When I'm filling in for
producer.
Jace, I did a
Yeah.
little research. I had to go over to Mississippi Valley State's page.
I
and
did
was
that.
able to get the scores there. Did you find them?
I
there?
didn't see the score for Sunday.
So here's the thing. I believe we beat them so bad, we just didn't decide to play a game.
Oh.
But you know, because like I said, we played on the 11th and the 12th
Right.
and beat them bad.
Yes, we did.
On the 11th, 14 to 1.
14-1.
Yeah.
And then and then Saturday we beat them 5-4.
I didn't see another score for Sunday. I think what it was.
They
I
were
think-
scared.
Yeah, I think they was like, yeah, we done had enough. And we're going to send you guys back up.
We'll find out that next score for next week to see if that
So-
streak is up to.
So were we
3.
playing there, or was it a home game?
We were playing there in Mississippi.
Yeah, so maybe it was weather. Let's just let's chalk it up to weather, maybe.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I chalk
or
it up as a
Mississippi.
win.
Have you ever seen
they just
Mississippi
got
mosquitoes?
scared.
Have you seen Mississippi
carry
mosquitoes?
those
you
are
away.
pterodactyls.
They are, yeah. So it could be.
They were pterodactyls.
Maybe
They were
something
carrying
happened and
this,
we
they
just
were
don't know.
picking up the
Right.
rattlers and
Yeah.
taking
Yeah.
them away.
They were, yeah.
They might have threw in a towel, honestly. I mean, you don't lost the series.
You lost the
I mean,
series,
it's no-
Yeah,
I just
So-
don't think they play.
maybe that. Yeah.
But,
But
uh,
they play UCF this week.
Yeah, that's Tuesday. Tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
That's right. Hey, tax day. I just realized tomorrow's tax day. Have y'all turned in have you sent in your taxes?
Not at all.
I'm
thinking about it.
You know, I think you better start working on that, man.
I do.
I do not want the IRS police to come pull you out of here.
I'm leaving here in cuffs or something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, you know,
I
it
don't
could
know.
be an exciting thing if they do it during the podcast taping, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think with
Yeah.
the
You think
ratings.
it? Yeah. It could.
I think
yeah.
we'd probably go viral.
about-
We could go viral with that.
So-
I'll tell you what. I'll hold out on taxes this year. And you guys.
Yeah. Maybe so.
Yes.
So anyway, I'm sorry, tax day, but we're playing UCF.
Yes, we're playing UCF, so that's a midweek game on tomorrow, and then we have a weekend series against the Kitty Cats in Daytona. So, yeah,
All right.
we're rocking and rolling.
We're rock and rolling.
And we did not mention that the men
We didn't.
are 19-14 for the season,
All right.
but they only have one loss in the SWAC.
Nice.
They are 13-1.
Nice.
Might as well just
Yeah.
hand us the trophy now. I mean, the
Yeah.
conference title. I
Yeah.
mean,
That'd be great.
Lock
They
it up.
are
Just
kicking
figure it
butt.
out.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
Yeah.
that's on the diamond. On the diamond here in Tallahassee, we that's king right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, so let's hope that next Monday when we do this podcast, we are talking about it, the continuation and the coronation that maybe start happening here for Tallahassee's round ball, softball, baseball sports, man.
Our diamond sports.
Oh.
You know what that is? That Evan is over there. He's telling us, man, God,
He's
shut
like,
up.
He's like,
That's
I
it.
gotta know.
Evan is a sweet guy, but when it's time to stop talking, he just sends the whistle.
Yeah.
And that
He's had enough of our
Yeah.
nonsense.
we got to end on another Tom Jones song. Okay, what's new, Pussycat? If you want to send us, an email and ask us what's new, Pussycat, what's new, Benchwarmers, we'll be happy to answer that at tallybench at wfsu.org. Or if you want to, maybe help us pay for these song rights that we're using on the podcast. Too.
Yeah.
That
Talk
may
about
be yours.
me. We're all getting in trouble.
Yeah. So yeah, hey, thanks for listening to this nonsense for another half an hour or so. Adrian, one last fist bump.
All right.
You
I
know,
knew I was gonna get
put
no.
on
I
the
mean,
cap as we walk out too.
Did you want to?
Yeah.
Can I get a Go Gators before?
Go
we go?
Gators.
Absolutely.
No, not
not.
even Go Gators. So that's it. We're going to wrap it up. We want to thank Evan on the other side of the glass for making us sound good. Jason and David in the video room to make us look good.
I mean, look decent.
Yeah, but it's the
an
best you can.
opinion.
And thanks for watching, putting up with us, and we will see you again next week on Tally Benchwarmers.